5, 4, 3.
Okay, and we're getting started with ATM versus Dropkick, and we have ATM moving right now forward.
And you remember ATM won the last tournament we had, so this is really the team to beat this time.
Absolutely. We have Emmanuel pushing through into the center area, and we have the first tag going on Jazzy Justin.
He's being tagged, I believe, by Wormhole Alien getting that tag out. Again, they instantly got back out, and they really got that. Just that tag was quick. They got, like, you know, I'm already jumping over my words. They move so fast. Basically, they're getting these untags really quick, keeping their teammates up.
Yeah, great work by ATM getting this first point and going. Trainx moving over to the center. It seems they're moving to a center strat and trying to joust right now with these head-on collisions.
You can see him playing flank right now.
Ooh, there we go. Emmanuel getting tagged, but instantly unfreezed by his teammates. They're moving in twos and having one by himself.
What's interesting also is they're playing so low to the ground.
Yeah, vertical shift, it's kind of in the name. You want to move into the air and move that way. And there we go. Trainx losing his one up in green.
Should rebrand this game horizontal shift.
It would be a different game indeed to be played.
Absolutely. We do got Wormhole going down. It looks like, well, it's 1-1.
No, absolutely great work by round 3 Dropkick moving forward and getting the tag. We have Green Child moving over to the joust. He's moving on to 2 people right now, and he gets 1. Yeah, he got Wormhole Alien in that.
That's insane. There's so much going on. We want to even switch over to one of the bigger static views just to kind of watch what's going on here. They're really grouped up in this right center area. This is actually a really good perspective to see here. But they're just going at it really close. They're like in each other's face.
No, absolutely. They're right in front of everyone's face, and they're just kind of bunching up into the middle. And then we finally have the round 1 by ATM. Great work by them.
Round 4. 8 minutes, 10 seconds left on the clock. It's 2-1 off for ATM's favor. But this game, like these rounds, this is what I'm expecting in the pacing of the rounds.
No, absolutely. This is how it was last time, and watching these two teams just dominate each other and push their advantage.
Absolutely. We have 2 members down on Dropkick, moving it up for ATM.
No, absolutely great work by Dropkick, or ATM pushing forward and getting things started there. We have Jazzy Justin trying to move over to the side and moving through the center. It's absolutely great to see him move to the side, but he's moving his team by himself.
It looks like we got 1 member left on the side of Dropkick. It keeps going back over and over, and again, it's 4-1. I don't know if I expect this or not. I mean, like, they won the last game. They got this momentum. I know these guys personally. They play a lot of different types of games together, and they're always diving in threes. They're always just strategizing, learning the mechanics the best way possible.
Yeah, so you see right now we have Green Shadow moving over to the side by himself and Justin. So they're using these flank routes a lot, and it would work if the rest of Dropkick was doing the same thing, but then they just leave someone in the center by themselves.
Looks like we're getting this untag here to revive Green. I think he got it up. And so coming out of these tunnels, you know, what do you think about these tunnels in the actual game?
These tunnels are hard to traverse. They're small, but you have to be precise with them. It's a great strategy to move through these tunnels, but it is also a risky one as there's only one exit for you.
Absolutely, and that kind of goes with like kind of these vertical tunnels as well, not even just these floating ones. It's just if you go in one side, you have 2 exits, and typically you're only going through one other.
Exactly, it's an easy way to get yourself tagged if you're not careful with it, but used properly, it can get you in and out very quickly.
Absolutely. 6-1, 6 minutes on the board. Do you think there's a chance that Dropkick can bring us back?
We will have to see if they're able to change their strategy and how they perform. It will be great to see how things go from there. But right now, ATM is just puppy dogging the one frozen member, and the rest seem to be huddling in the tunnels. It doesn't seem as though they want to approach. They're taking their time and moving away, but now they see blood, they see King by himself, and they're attacking him all at once.
The pacing kind of seems to slow down a bit. I feel like, you know, if we're looking at this, the first 3, 4, 5 rounds were just I'm diving at you, we're gonna see what happens, and now they're playing a lot slower, except no outcome is changing.
Right, absolutely. It seems as though ATM is really able to push the lead right now and move forward. Dropkicks are just having a hard time keeping up with the pace that ATM is setting, and their set pace is fast.
Absolutely. Like I'm sitting here kind of trying to figure out exactly why they're changing their pace here.
Yeah, it seems as though that Dropkicks are trying to maybe change how things are going, But it doesn't seem as though it's working the best way possible.
5
But
minutes remaining.
I want to look at Tranex's point of view. He is the designated diver here. And look how he just kind of tried to let it look like he was going to the back. And then he just dives back behind him to catch him off guard.
yeah, tricky movement right there. Makes them think he's going one way and then hits them with the quick moves to catch them off guard.
So this is already game point with just under 5 minutes remaining. It's almost again just a 10-0, but the team Dropkick was able to get 1 point out. Let's see if they can pull 9 more in 4 minutes.
Right, exactly. It will be interesting to see what they're able to do, but Justin being tagged like that is not going to help, and that is ATM taking the round over Dropkick.
So, again, that is a 10-1. This is a BO3, so Dropkick isn't out of it.
Right. This is not the end of it. They have more games to be played to see how things go. It was a dominating fashion by ATM, setting that fast pace and keeping Dropkick just down at the moment.
Absolutely. They're probably going to get this next game started up quickly, hopefully. I see them all just kind of hanging out. Looks like they're going back and forth, just kind of practicing. The lobby area of tag doesn't have a super lot of kind of geometry that's like in the actual tag arena. However, it has these nice little like arcs you can kind of swing off of.
No, absolutely. There's a lot of different points in which you're moving throughout the map. One point that you might not see a lot is the tunnel perspective. These tunnels run above the map. You have one on the red side and you have one on the blue side. And these tunnels allow people to move directly throughout the map and get going from there. But it is a dangerous way to use those tunnels because you only have one exit at the time. Okay, you have to be careful in using these tunnels and using them properly. But yeah, ATM showing exactly why they're so good and why they are as dominant as they have been, and taking that in a clean 10-1 fashion at the moment. It was a good effort. It seemed close at the beginning. Honestly, it looked like Dropkick was able to maybe keep their pace and maybe move slower, but they couldn't keep up with ATM. ATM kept their high pace and high variance speed, and because of that, Dropkick was just unable to act. They were unable to keep up, and it just demonstrates itself in the score. We have a 10-1 game, so we have one game currently up for ATM, and then Dropkick's falling down 1 point, but it's still not over. We have 2 more possible games. If Dropkick is able to get back this next game, it'll be a great job for them to get themselves back into the swing and maybe get back to that dominant fashion you've seen in the first round.
Absolutely, and I'm looking at them and seeing what their kind of movement is, even kind of out of game or out between matches. And they're just kind of looks like they are floating around. I wonder if they're kind of either discussing strats, if they're just casually flying to keep their hands warm. I wonder if they're talking back and forth about what's up or what they should change. See, you can see Sean the Bomb flying around in there. He is one of the co-producers for Vertical Shifts, so he's one of our mods in the game, kind of making sure everything runs well in there. See him flying around.
No,
cool.
Absolutely great to have TOs in the current map to make sure these teams are doing exactly what we need them to. No, it's absolutely great to see them, and I think that's a great way to have a tournament set up so things run as smoothly as possible. But yeah, we have members of both ATM and Dropkick just moving across the map. You can see working on these flank routes. You saw that little kick right there around that corner that Flash did. It's always good to be able to practice that movement, because when you're moving around those flanks, if you get caught up on a wall or if you get caught up on a floor, you will slow down, and that slowdown is not what you happen. Vertical Shift is a game that rewards speed. Okay, you want to keep your momentum and keep it going, so stay off the ground and stay off the floor. But if you want to learn these tips and tricks, you can always head over to our side quest page or our itch.io page, or if you really want, we have a website as well. All these are viable methods that help you download the game and get into the skies in Vertical Shift. But no, these two teams, we will hopefully be getting started real soon, and we'll see how that goes. We have green. So now we're going to be moving through the map, and seeing how that goes. So another thing about the map, as we were mentioning earlier in the middle of the match, we have these tubes. These tubes are able to are good ways of just like to break up the monotony of the map. If you just didn't have these tubes, it would be too open and there wouldn't be enough movement being able to happen. And because of that, we insert these tubes to allow people to sneak away and get away from their attackers. Okay, it looks like we have gotten the okay to start the next match, and because of that, we will be moving forward and getting things started. So, hope you enjoyed this game 2 between Dropkick and ATM, as we hop into the match now.
5, 4, 3.
So we will be starting on the ATM side with Tranex on the red, and we'll be seeing their perspective.
Absolutely. Going out, looking at Tranex, he takes these flanks. He's the diver, but he always takes these flank routes to try and get you can see him kind of sneaking around. So look, if you look where he is relative, I bet you the next tag's going to be really quickly up on King. But it does look like King ran back over to his teammates, so maybe he'll be safe.
We have... Okay, so now we have, first round actually coming through Dropkick. Dropkick's doing a good job of getting things started with the first point of the round, changing up how things are going last time. That is great job by them.
Absolutely. Looking at Tran again, I always like watching his perspective because he seems like he gets a view of where he thinks the team's going to go, and then he just makes these dives.
Yeah, great prediction of where the team is going and where they're about to happen. It's a great job by Tranex moving over and attacking where it needs to be.
Looks like Green. I wonder what Green's doing right there. It's quite interesting. But going back, we have King flying around on the flanks. Again, I know both these teams like the flanks.
Right, they like moving over to the outside area, and now we have King Flash moving through the tunnels and taking tunnel strats and seeing where that goes.
I wonder how it's gonna work for him. I know for most teams, it's either it works for them or it absolutely kills their rounds.
Yeah, because they can just huddle outside, and then you have King Justin being tagged on the outside and then unable to move.
It just looks like, is he the last one remaining on the blue team right now?
Yeah, it looks like it looks like Jazzy has been tagged, and it looks like Rose just has been tagged too. So King Flash and Jazzy are all that Dropkick has at the moment, as Green has DC.
Did he DC? It looked quite... Oh, maybe. But it's still 2 minutes down, 4 rounds already passing, 3 up in the favor of ATM. So it kind of already looks like it might be going where it did last time. But really, it's still 7 minutes left. I always like to think that anyone's game, when the first 8 minutes or the first 6 minutes of the game, really anything can happen.
Absolutely. It's at these beginning parts that you really get to see what a team is made of and what they're able to do. It looks like Dropkick is getting this tunnel strat and using it more exclusively to get things started. But yeah, it looks like they're staying up there because it can be very difficult for members of the red team. But it doesn't seem to matter, as Jazz still gets tagged. They're trying to use these tunnels to work, but it's just working against them, to be honest.
I'm really interested. Was it ATM last tournament that liked the tunnels?
It was Aces of Orions. Aces of Orions were using the tunnel strats last time and were able to use it for their strategy.
I want to move over to a wide view of the tunnels to see exactly what they're trying to do over here. Oh, well, we got to a little late, but it looked like they had all the red team, just all of ATM got pummeled up there.
Yeah, it seems like they're going back into the tunnels one more time. So it seems as those Dropkicks want to play on the tunnels, and this will be their strategies to try to hide out. And they end up getting one with Tranex.
And what's interesting is you see that, maybe they're identifying this weakness of saying if they're not going to go in the tunnels, they can't win a round unless they go tag us. So,
right.
What's a little flaw to that is that they're up by 3. So they're not under this immense pressure right now, as I would say that probably Dropkick is.
Yeah, it's a strategy that relies on your opponent going in and attacking through the tunnels. So here we go, back into the tunnels once again to see what they're able to do. It looks like there's only one right now. Yep, Jazzy is by himself on the bottom trying to get things to work. And then King staying up here. Let's see what's going on down below.
So down below we do have King. Well, King dropped route and got met by the ATM cash money.
As you saw there, 3 people waiting for him for the second he dropped out of that tunnel, and he was attacked with a fierce ferocity.
So I don't know if we've really fully mentioned this, but you see these wings. For the players themselves, they're colored. But what's interesting is I wonder if they're playing this, oh, I'm going to hide behind here, hope they don't see my wings, and look at theirs.
Right.
And that's kind of where it looks like he got identified while he was falling out of that tube, and they're all just like, haha, let's get him.
Right, they found him outside of the tubes, because as you can see, if you look up to the ceiling, you can see that wing set it up there. So they know where he is relatively, and so they're hiding out and forming their strategies on how to get into that tube and get him.
I wonder if Emmanuel will try to delay his entrance to the tube, or if he actually just missed. I know it happens. I still do it sometimes, but yeah, I'm curious.
No, Jazzy ends up. It's currently 7-3, and it seems as though Dropkick is doing a new strategy of waiting for them and seeing if they come to them.
What exactly is that strategy that they might have identified?
So Jazzy was staying back and trying to see where ATM wanted to attack, and then counterflanked by having King move over to the other side of the map. So now they're running back to the tunnels, and now they have 1 person down. Ooh, it seems like there seems to be a battle going on in this tunnel right now.
It really does. I mean, maybe they're just like, let's run the tunnels. I mean, like ATM came out on that side. I know Dropkick got a few rounds off from the tunnels, but maybe they're trying to change it up to, you know, like they went to the tunnel that goes across the center of the arena, right? Where before they were playing vertically. So I wonder if they're just trying to change it up, but keep it around the base idea that they're winning in the tunnels.
Right. They try to go to the tunnel to him, but here we have Emmanuel meeting him up there and getting the tag. But then we notice that Wormhole gets tagged at the bottom. Unfortunate situation. We have our game point right now, and we will see where that goes and takes them.
So
ATM.
If ATM wins this, they go to semifinals, correct?
They would go to winners finals. Yes, they would go to winners finals, and then from there they would go into grand finals if they win that. And it seems as though it will be that. ATM is back in dominating fashion and getting their victory, holding their crown as the dominant players of Vertical Shift.